welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angela and I'm currently here in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm going to be exploring and chilling with my friends for the next 4 days. We just flew in from New York. If you watched my last vlog, you'll know that I was just in New York for about a week to go see my sister and do a little bit of exploring. If you haven't seen that yet, you can click right over here. We just flew into Nashville this morning. Our flight was a little bit delayed, but we flew with Southwest from LaGuardia to Nashville. It was an interesting experience. I've never flown Southwest before. You kind of just sit wherever instead of having an assigned seat, which I've never done before. But it was a very short, quick flight over about an hour and a half. And then we landed in Nashville at the airport. We took an Uber to our hotel where we're staying right now, which is the Holiday Inn Express Metro Center, which is just a little bit outside of the city. It is currently 11:20. We just checked in. Luckily, they had a room ready for us, which is great. This hotel also offers like free breakfast and free one-way Uber rides into the city per day, which is great. So we'll probably make use of that later today. But for now, we're just freshening up after the plane ride, and then we're going to be heading over a little bit outside of the city. We're not going into downtown quite yet. We're going to go to where the Grand Ole Opry is. It's where the Gaylord Opryland Resort is. I think that's what it's called. And there's a bunch of restaurants in that area as well. So we're going to go grab some lunch and explore that area. And then hopefully later on today, we're going to go into the downtown center to do a little bit more exploring as well. But yeah, today we're staying at the Holiday Inn, but we're just staying here for 1 day because 2 of my other friends are going to be joining us tomorrow. And then we're all going to be going to stay at an Airbnb for the next 2 nights. Excited to explore Nashville. I've never been here before. We've been doing some preparation for it. My friends made a Nashville playlist of a bunch of country music that I've been studying so that I know what's happening. So hopefully I will use that knowledge this week and get to listen to some fun live music and check out Nashville. So I'll take you along with us for the next 4 days and hopefully we have some fun. For our first day in Nashville, we took an Uber over to the Opry Mills area where we grabbed lunch at Paula Deen's Family Kitchen for some Southern hospitality and dining. When we arrived, we found out that Paula Deen herself was there that day doing a book signing, which was very exciting because I had seen her on a few episodes of MasterChef, so I knew of her. Once we got a table, we found out that they specialized in family-style dining. So you essentially choose a number of entrees and sides, and it's all you can eat of those dishes for a set price per person. We chose to try their famous fried chicken and ribs, and for sides we got their cheesy biscuits, mac and cheese, creamed corn, fried okra, and their collard greens. And it also came with a choice of dessert as well, so I got a peach cobbler. All of this food was only $25.99 per person, so it's definitely a good deal if you can eat a lot. After our delicious Southern lunch, we checked out the gift shop because if you made any purchase, you could go meet Paula Deen. So I bought a little shot glass and lined up to meet her, but the line was super long and everyone was taking their sweet time. So I just ended up seeing her from afar. Afterwards, we walked across the street to the Opry Mills, which is a huge shopping center with some very fun Western apparel stores like Boot Barn, where they have a huge selection of cowboy boots and hats to choose from. Another interesting store we saw was the Smith Creek Moonshine store with free moonshine tastings, as well as this other boot store called Boot Factory Outlet, which had a really impressive buy 1 pair get 2 pairs free deal, which is pretty wild, but all of the boots are pretty pricey on their own, so we didn't end up getting any because we don't need 3 pairs of boots, but they were really cute and we tried on a bunch. After a lap around the huge mall, we walked over to the famous Grand Ole Opry, which is country music's biggest stage. Home to legends and rising stars, their world-famous show features 8 or more artists, never repeats, and is where aspiring stars dream of playing and music lovers connect with their favorite artists up close at the Opry House. Just a short walk away is the famous Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, where you can explore 9 acres of airy indoor garden atriums. I was absolutely blown away when we walked in because I was not expecting it to be like an indoor Disneyland without all the rides. We walked through the incredibly gorgeous indoor gardens with waterfalls and even riverboat rides. This resort was so massive. It was really difficult not to get lost in here. If I come back to Nashville one day when I have money, I would definitely want to stay at least one night in this enormous resort. After checking out the Music Valley, it was time to finally go into downtown Nashville. On our drive in, we already saw a bunch of party buses full of women on bachelorette parties, but before we got into the party scene, we went to Assembly Food Hall to grab a quick bite. This food hall right on Broadway had a ton of stalls to choose from, but because we were in Nashville, we decided to try Prince's Hot Chicken. And let me tell y'all, Nashville hot chicken is no joke. We got 4 of their jumbo tenders with coleslaw and pickles, and even though we chose mild, it was still pretty spicy, and I have a pretty decent spice tolerance. I even had to buy this frozen margarita to help with the heat. After our dinner, we head out to the Honky Tonk Highway, which is the must-visit stretch of Lower Broadway that is full of bars and clubs that blast live music into the streets until 3 in the morning, 365 days a year. It was absolutely bustling that night, and it was such a fun experience to walk down the street full of neon lights and loud music blasting from each establishment and just pop in and out of whichever spot drew you in. Each floor would even have a different live band playing and singing all different types of music, not just country, so we enjoyed a very fun night of drinking and dancing. Morning everyone! Today is our second day here in Nashville, and yesterday was super fun. We explored all of like the Grand Ole Opry area, Opry Mills. We had lunch at Paula Deen's. I saw Paula Deen at her book signing. It was super random. And then we explored the Gaylord Opryland Resort as well, which was super cool. So that was super fun. And then in the evening, we went out to Broadway, which is the main street here in Nashville, which is where all the honky tonks are. So it's just like this street lined with a bunch of different clubs, and you can just like walk into whichever. They close it so it's just pedestrians only, so we just like checked out a couple of different ones, did some dancing. It was really fun. There were so many like parties going on, bachelorette parties. They had like these party buses that would just like drive down the street, and like a bunch of people were just partying on them, which was super random but cool. And yeah, it was just a really good vibe. So today is Sunday. We are going to be heading back into downtown very soon. We're just checking out of our hotel right now. We gotta head out actually right now, and then we're gonna drop off our stuff here at the hotel because our Airbnb that we're switching to, we can't check in until later in the afternoon. So we're just gonna leave our stuff here, go into the main downtown area, do some exploring, maybe head over to East Nashville and do a little bit of exploring there as well because there's some cool thrift shops and stuff. And then my friends were supposed to join us today, but their flight got canceled this morning. So unfortunately they can't make it until tomorrow, which is really sucky, but we're just gonna have to make do with what we have. So we're gonna head out, do some exploring for today, and I'll take you along with us for day 2 here in Nashville. We started our day by taking our free daily Uber ride into downtown Nashville again, where we got to see Broadway by day. Our first stop of the day was checking out the Ryman Auditorium, which is a live music venue that was once the home of the Grand Ole Opry and is known as the Mother Church of Country Music. Then we walked down Broadway in the light of day, and even though it was much more chill than the night before and all of the neon lights weren't out yet, the live music was already playing and giving the street a really nice vibe. We decided to check out the Goo Goo Chocolate Company, which is apparently home of America's first combination candy bar, the Goo Goo Cluster. This candy bar was invented in 1912 in Nashville, Tennessee, and this store was so much fun to visit. You can even make your own custom cluster, which is perfect for any sweet tooth. Next, we head over to the Hampton Social, which is a 3-story restaurant that features a first-floor rosé all-day lounge, second-floor private dining, and a rooftop lounge, which is where we went because we didn't make a reservation. We checked out the menu, but nothing was really speaking to us, so we just tried some of their cocktails and enjoyed the beautiful interiors of the restaurant, as well as checked out the outdoor rooftop. To grab some food, we walked down the street to the Diner, which is a massive 6-story restaurant that offers a large menu of different food and drink options. I got the Nashville hot chicken wrap, and my sister tried the biscuits and gravy, which were both decent but nothing too special. After lunch, we caught an Uber over to East Nashville to check out some thrift stores. Our first stop was the 5 Points Alley Shops, which was a cute little shopping area with some small boutique stores, including Goodbye Girls, which had a lot of secondhand items like boots, belts, hats, and clothes. We also checked out the Hip Zipper Vintage nearby, which also had a ton of secondhand clothes and some boots, but nothing really stood out to us, so we head to our Airbnb to check in. Our Airbnb was super nice and clean and had this giant mural of Johnny Cash by the stairs. It had 3 big bedrooms and was in a pretty good location, just a short drive from downtown, which is exactly where we head after dropping our stuff off. For dinner, we head to Jack's Barbecue, which was right on Broadway and has been a Nashville tradition since 1976. We ordered their 2-meat combo with Texas beef brisket and their St. Louis style ribs, which came with cornbread, creamed corn, and coleslaw. It definitely wasn't a fancy barbecue spot, but they did the classics really well, and their different barbecue sauces were all really tasty. After dinner, we head back onto Broadway to check out some more honky-tonks. There were so many that had big names attached to them, like Jason Aldean's, which was packed with people, even though it's still relatively early in the day. We had checked this one out the previous day, but the line was super long, so I'm really glad that we got in this time. They have a massive rooftop bar, which is actually connected to Luke Bryan's next door, so we got some fried pickles as a quick snack, which were actually really good. And then we walked over to Robert's Western World, which had a very different crowd, but we heard they had the cheapest drinks on Broadway, so we got a couple cans of their $2.50 beers and enjoyed the vibes for a bit. Next up was another big name in country music at Morgan Wallen's This Bar. I really enjoyed the live music here and actually knew a bunch of the songs because they were on the playlist that my friend made me listen and study before this trip, so shout out to her. Afterwards, we checked out a bunch more honky-tonks, including Miranda Lambert's Casa Rosa and Ole Red, which is Blake Shelton's bar, and was a really fun vibe in there as well. Afterwards, we walked down the rest of Broadway and made it to our final stop of the night, which was the Wild Beaver Saloon. This bar had such fun energy with people riding the mechanical bull and singing their hearts out on stage to their favorite karaoke songs, which made it the perfect ending to our night out. Good morning. It is our 3rd day here in Nashville and we are about to head out to do some more exploring today. We are going to go over to the Gulch, which is like a different area that we haven't been to yet, to go hopefully grab some brunch and walk around and explore that area. On our way home yesterday, our Uber driver was giving us recommendations of things to do and she recommended Milk and Honey, which is like a brunch restaurant there. So we're going to try to get a table at Milk and Honey for some brunch and then just explore the Gulch for a little bit. And then my friends are going to be coming today to join us, so we're going to meet back up with them here at the Airbnb before we head out to go to White Limousine, which is the Dolly Parton themed restaurant, because they're hosting this pool party. For now, we're going to go grab some brunch at the Gulch. When we arrived at Milk and Honey, the line was super long, but we put our name down and they said that they would text us when the table was ready. So we head out to explore the Gulch, which is an upscale neighborhood known for the chic hotels, high-end fashion boutiques, and trend-setting restaurants. Nearby, we checked out the Five Daughters Bakery, a family-owned bakery chain known for making the 100-layer donut, which is a delicious hybrid of a croissant and donut that takes up to 3 days to make. I tried the mini version of their Summer Berry Crisp and it definitely lived up to the hype. Finally, after an hour, we got our text saying our table was ready, so we head back to Milk and Honey and they have this awesome build your own mimosa option where you can choose 3 flavors of their cold pressed juices and you get a bottle of champagne to make your own DIY mimosas, which I thought was super fun. The food, on the other hand, was not very memorable. After brunch, my other friends finally arrived in Nashville, and after dropping our stuff off at the Airbnb, we head over to the Graduate Hotel to go to our pool party that we had booked for free online that was at the iconic White Limousine, which is the 12th floor rooftop bar of the hotel. Named in honor of the country music icon Dolly Parton, this bar is very on brand with stylish, over-the-top, all-pink decor, including this giant sculpture of Dolly herself. This day they were hosting a Back to Brat themed pool party, so we ordered some fun cocktails named after pop icons Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan, and of course Charlie XCX, whose music was being blasted by the amazing DJ, and we hopped into the pool for a perfect afternoon in Nashville's hot summer weather. Speaking of hot, after our lovely pool party, we head over to Hattie B's for some more Nashville hot chicken and a boozy, icy lemonade. Next, it was time to head back to Broadway to show my friends the iconic Honky Tonk Highway. That night, Robert's Western World was hosting their 25-year-old celebration, so we grabbed some cheap drinks and enjoyed the performances. Even though it was a quieter night than the previous two, we made the most out of it and checked out a bunch of honky tonks, including Morgan Wallen's and Luke Bryan's, which was actually really rowdy. We also checked out Kid Rock's Honky Tonk, which was also massive with 5 floors, 4 stages, and 6 bars. It's not really my kind of music, but there were a lot of people there having a good time. Across the street was Raising Cane's Nashville flagship store, so of course we had to check it out, pick up some of their fun merch, and grab a quick bite. At the end of the night, we walked past some beautiful stores and checked out Coyote Ugly, which is a saloon that the movie of the same name is based on. It was super dead inside, but it was still fun to see, and then we head back to our Airbnb for the night. The next morning, we had to check out of our Airbnb pretty early, so we Ubered to Sam's Clothing to store our luggage for the day. Right next door was the Frothy Monkey, a popular cafe, so we popped in for some caffeine and brunch. While waiting for a table, I ordered their Zeno Matcha, which was blood orange tarragon matcha lemonade, and it was so delicious. I came back later for another one. For brunch, I got their avocado toast, which was good, but nothing too special. Afterwards, we walked around 5th and Broadway, which is the shopping area that Assembly Food Hall is located in. My friends tried the donuts from Five Daughters Bakery, and I bought a very cute pair of cowboy boots from Holly Ray, which is a local boutique clothing store run by 2 sisters. After doing some shopping, we walked towards the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, which is the world's largest repository of country music artifacts. We didn't have time to go in and explore, but got to see a few of the famous artifacts displayed outside, which was pretty cool, and it definitely seemed like an amazing attraction for country music lovers. Past the museum was Martin's Barbecue Joint, which is a massive roadhouse-style eatery known for its whole hog pit-fired barbecue. We ordered the ribs and the sliced beef brisket with broccoli salad, potato salad, and coleslaw as sides, and everything was incredibly delicious and so worth the wait. After grabbing my second Zeno Matcha from Frothy Monkey, it was time to pick up our luggage and head to the airport to fly home. But before we left Nashville, we got to stop for one last meal at Hattie B's at the airport and get our fix of Nashville hot chicken, which of course was so good. Hello, Editing Angela here to close out this vlog. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you made it this far, please make sure to comment a cowboy emoji below. Nashville was so much fun. Honestly, such a vibe. Even though I'm not like a huge country music fan, it was just such like a lively and exciting city to be in, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you have the opportunity, especially on a weekend. I feel like it's just like bustling all the time. The fact that these honky tonks on Broadway are open 365 days a year is wild to me, and there's just constantly live music. There are so many different performers, and it was so much fun. So highly recommend checking it out. Also, our Airbnb was amazing. I'm gonna link it in the description box below if you want to check that out with the giant Johnny Cash mural that they had. Overall, I had a blast with my friends. We ate so much Nashville hot chicken. It is so much spicier than I was expecting it to be. So if you cannot handle spice, I would just watch out. Maybe grab like a cup of milk with it, depending on what vibe you want to go for. I would recommend going on a weekend just for the full experience. There's so many bachelorette parties and everybody's like dressed up in their boots, and it's just like such vibes. So highly recommend checking out Nashville if you have the opportunity to. I had the best time there and would definitely love to go back. back one day. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't checked out my last vlog, you can check it out right over here. It is our New York City vlog. So check that out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!